Synthesis reactions are going to come from the combination of one, two, or more reactants. We're generally going to be looking at just two different reactants combining. So the general formula is going to be A plus B is going to yield AB. And when we do that, we have to be very careful. The A charge and that B charge must crisscross to form the bond. So keep in mind that these charges should be crossed down to get that bond. So here's some examples. Mg plus O2 is our first example. First thing I'm going to do is look for the charges. So for magnesium, magnesium is in group 2, which means it has a plus 2 charge. Oxygen is in group 16, which means it has a minus 2 charge. When we crisscross those 2's down, so I have magnesium with a plus 2, and I have oxygen with a minus 2. When I cross that 2, and I cross this 2, I get Mg2O2. However, when we have a common number here, we can simplify. We get MgO. So my product is MgO. And from there, we would just balance the equation. So I'm going to rewrite this equation, or I'm going to get rid of all this extra stuff here. So we've got MgO as our product. I have one magnesium on the left and one on the right, so magnesium is good. But on the left side, I have 2 oxygens, but I only have 1 oxygen on the right. So in order to balance this equation, I'm going to put a 2 in front of that MgO, which is going to distribute into that entire product, giving me 2 magnesiums and 2 oxygens. So now what I need to do is go back to my reactants, and I'm going to put a 2 in front of that magnesium to give me 2 magnesiums on both sides. So that is a balanced equation. So my final product would be 2Mg plus O2 yields 2MgO. Our next example, lithium plus fluorine. So lithium is in group 1, which means it has a plus 1 charge. Fluorine is in group 17, which means it has a minus 1 charge. Those ones are going to crisscross to give us a very simple LiF, one of each. And again, we're going to have to balance this just like we did the first one. So I have 1 lithium on the left, 1 lithium on the right, 2 fluorines on the left, 1 fluorine on the right. Remember, these subscripts go to the element before it. In order to balance this, again, I'm going to put a 2 in front of that product, and that 2 is going to distribute. And in order to balance that lithium out, I'm going to put a 2 in front of it on the reactant side in order to get 2 lithiums on the left and 2 lithiums on the right. Lastly, we have aluminum plus sulfur. Aluminum is in group 13, which means it has a plus 3 charge. Sulfur is in group 16. It has a minus 2 charge. Remember that the cation always goes first in our ionic compounds. So I'm going to take my aluminum with the plus 3, my sulfur with the minus 2, and I'm going to crisscross those numbers. So the aluminum now is going to have a 2 next to it, and the sulfur will have a 3 next to it, indicating 2 aluminums and 3 sulfurs. So my final reaction, my equation is Al plus S yields Al2S3. So now I just have to balance this equation. I have 1 aluminum on the left and 2 on the right. I'm going to go ahead and put a 2 in front of that aluminum on the left to make it 2. I have 1 sulfur on the left, 3 on the right. So I'm going to put a 3 in front of this sulfur on the left-hand side because those coefficients distribute into the entire compound. So now I have 3 sulfurs on the left and 3 on the right. Those subscripts only go to the one in front of it.